Welcome back to the Michael Batson Show. It is a Monday. It is raining, but we are warm, cozy, and we're going to be talking about sports for the next little while on the Michael Batson Show. I'm Michael Batson. Glad to have everybody wherever you are listening whoever you are listening with, wherever you are listening. It's glad to have you with us on the first day of a new month. That's a good sign already. We have a lot to talk about as we look of what exactly am I going to be talking about. Well, first I'll be talking about DeAndre Swift and how he's going to the Eagles. What does this mean for the Lions? But more importantly, what does this mean for the Eagles? And although they have a great team, why I'm so impressed that Howie Roseman, the GM, is still adding players. And then I'll get to the Packers. No, I'm not going to get to Aaron Rodgers. Everybody talks about that. Aaron Rodgers that, Aaron Rodgers this, that. I'm going to talk about Jordan Love. What's his ceiling? What's his floor? What could he do? What's an overreaction? Everything Jordan Love. And what I think he will accomplish and what I think should his standards be in year one. What's a goal? Why do I think he'll succeed? That all will be talked about because the fourth-year player now at a Utah State, this will be his first year starting. He's backed up Rodgers for 3 years, and nobody really knows what he plays like. Nobody knows the scheme. Nobody knows what type of leader he is. Does he pass? Does he run? Nobody knows it because he hasn't even started a game, right? He hasn't started a game. So I'm going to take a deeper dive into what should we expect from him year one. Let's go. Number one, what are you talking about? Well, I put Howie Roseman on the cover, and of the topic, I put Swift and Roseman. And that was on purpose. And I could have put Jalen Hurts, I could have put A.J. Brown, I could have put a huge Philadelphia mascot and saying, this is a great trade and great accusation. Well, I put Howie Roseman because the GM, I think, is doing a fantastic job in Philadelphia. And we always see this in sports, we see it in politics, we see it in movies, we just see it in life, and it is a norm for humans. Once you get to the top, now you could say, well, Michael, they didn't win the Super Bowl. Once you win the NFC, once you find your QB, once you get to the Super Bowl, right, it's very hard to have that same motivation to do it again and have the same eager and want to do it again and have the same determination as the year before. You look, you say, I've done it all, right? It could be nice to do Super Bowl, but everything's just good from here. And Howie Roseman and this team could have said, let's take a few months off. Let's not focus on the draft, right? Let's just take a few months off. They didn't. They signed, I think, one of the best running backs when healthy in DeAndre Swift. Why Lions gave them up? Well, they drafted Jamar Gibbs. They got rid of Jamal Williams, but they got Dave Montgomery. That running back room is one of the most busiest rooms in the NFL. They just got rid of Williams. They now just got rid of DeAndre Swift because they think, he is injury prone, and they brung on some fresh blood with Dave Montgomery, which I think is a very good running back, and who didn't get the light because he wasn't on a good team in Chicago, and Jamar Gibbs, who's, I think, someone to watch out for, the running back from Alabama. So they didn't need him anymore. They didn't think highly of him, and Howie Roseman said, I'll take him, right? Our team is good, but I'm not settled. I'm not going to just sit here and act like we don't need anything else. So he took him. And what this was a perfect example of filling the team and not just saying, I'm good, we don't need any more stars. This is a star, and Howie Roseman said, we want him. Because what Jalen Hurts have been given is an offense and a team that has stars around him so he doesn't need to do it himself. And I always say, and I stick to this belief, that a QB can only be as good as his wide receivers are. Think about any QB ever. They've had the wide receivers. Think about the great ones of the past few years. Rodgers, well, he's had some guy named Devontae Adams. Kirk Cousins, He's got some guy named Justin Jefferson. And the guys who could be good but don't have any weapons, like the Justin Fields of the worlds, they're stuck. The Josh Allens who have Stephon Diggs, they're ready. They're active and they're excited. And I say that it can only go as far as a position goes. The QB can only be as good as their wide receivers. And that's the GM's job to give him wide receivers. Well, he gave him Quez Watkins, and he gave him A.J. Brown, and he gave him all these good players. Jalen Reagor's first year. He also gave him a defense. He gave him two very good coordinators in Gannon and Kevin Skounski, right? But he's not done there. He had Miles Sanders. He lost him. He brought on more talent. And a running back just gives you more protection. And even if you don't run the ball much, it gives you an extra blocker, it gives you an extra receiver, and it gives you another talent on the team. This team is star on defense. This team has a lot of stars on offense. The only question I'm thinking about is, can they rebound from the two coordinators they've lost? Shane Steichen and Nathaniel Gannon. Both of them went to take head coaching jobs elsewhere in the NFL. Could they rebound that? That's my only question. Because I know their offense is electric. They kept A.J. Brown. They kept all the key pieces from the team. The defense is good. The head coach is still there. Everything's there, and you just added another star in DeAndre Swift. That's my question. And I give a lot of credit, because what do you do when you're at the top of the NFL? What do you do when you have it all? A lot of people, especially with money, just sit back and relax. But the ones who are driven want more money, and they want more success. And those are the ones that are the richest. Those are the ones who have the most power. You look at the teams in the NFL who were the best last year. Well, Packers, which we'll talk about in a sec, they lost Aaron Rodgers. Do we know if Jordan Love is a question? I'll talk about that in a sec. But he's no Jalen Hurts. Kansas City, have they made a move? They've lost more players than they've actually got. Bills, tell me a move they've made. Titans, tell me a move they've made. Right? I'm just saying and stating random teams about how not many teams actually make moves to make them from good to great. Bills, no. Vikings, they actually got a wide receiver, and I gave them a lot of credit for that. And it's big if you could transform your team, even if you're good, to be an even better team. And that's why I believe so much in the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why I believe. Because I love how this front office runs. I like how they pick players. And I think the only question there is how they'll rebound from losing two coordinators. That's my only question. It's not the running back room, right? So it's not individually about, oh, this is a great pickup for Swift. He could get hurt in 3 games. And I'd still say that's a great move. Because you got a chance. You went for it. And Roseman was aggressive. He didn't settle. This front office didn't settle. And they found players that could give even more help to this team. An extra blocker to Jalen Hurts. An extra receiver. And an extra guy to carry the pigskin. This just signifies how good the front office is. And how aggressive and really just good and smart Howie Roseman is. Not settling. That's what I take from this deal. That's what I take from this deal. And I'd say, there's no chance. I don't think they make the Super Bowl next year. I'd say most people have them right now as the team to beat in the NFL. Because they keep moving up and they keep signing guys and re-signing guys. And how they handle the Jalen Hurts situation, right? They handled the Hurts situation. They didn't let this, thing play out through camp. They didn't let this thing play out throughout the year like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens did, or a lot of these teams do now, and throughout the draft season where you're thinking about prospects. You have a Packers team that doesn't know if they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers. No. The Eagles got their job and their deal done quickly with Jalen Hurts, and they moved on. That was a smart move. They got 2 good coordinators after the 2 other coordinators left. And I just love this franchise and what it's building. I think they're really smart. Do you want some new Cheer merch? Well, check out One Stop Trev Shop. It's in Glencoe, or it's also located in the 3rd floor of the main campus of New Trier. Be the coolest and look the best with your New Trier merch, hoodies, footing, shoes, anything. You could get your hands on there. It's pretty good, and you'll look pretty good in it too. Check out that to get the best New Trier merch there is. Second story, let's go. Well, Jordan Love. I love how everybody talks about Aaron Rodgers. And everybody says, oh, we need to talk about Aaron Rodgers. But who's taking over one of the best franchises in the NFL? The most storied franchise in the NFL. One of. This is their only 3rd quarterback since 1991. So it's a big deal, and we need to talk about. Because is your program and is the team you built for 30 years in good hands, or is it in bad hands? And we haven't really discussed, and the media haven't discussed, how the Packers are. And I'll discuss it now. I'm a believer on Jordan Love, right? I like him out of Utah. I think he was a very good quarterback, right? And I've believed in him even when I saw him in the Eagles game, where he looked very solid. And we have to say this isn't a situation where he comes in and he doesn't get any help. This isn't a team like when he goes to the Titans, right? The Titans drafted a QB, I'm blanking on the name, but when that QB comes in to replace Tannehill, there will be a problem. Because the Tennessee Titans don't have a good fan base, they don't really have a good management, and they're not known for being aggressive. Oh, the Packers, they'll spend money. They have good fans, a good franchise, good front office. They're aggressive. This is a place that a learning QB wants to learn in, right? And the team around him, let's not forget, they're not going to push him out and say, okay, have some fun, let's play. Oh, he has help. He has a playoff defense with a lot of stars. This is a top 5 defense in the NFL. He has an up-and-coming offensive line. Lots of key pieces, an offense line that was getting better. You have Christian Watson. Really good. You have a bunch of good coordinators and a head coach with Matt LaFleur who have coached a lot of different QBs, including the one you successed, which is Aaron Rodgers, for multiple years. They went into the draft wanting targets. Christian Watson is good. They want a wide receiver too. They got it, I think, from Jaden Reed in MSU, a guy who can play very physical. He's fast. He could run the vertical routes. He's also, good on contested catches. They also drafted a tight end, right? So they're loading up on talent. And as I said, it all goes back to when you're bringing in a new QB, it could be Tom Brady when he went to the Buccaneers, or it could be Tom Brady when he went to the Patriots. He was only going to go as far as how good and deep and athletic and great his wide receiver and that wide receiver room was. And I think with Watson and Jalen Reed and a new tight end and a good staff, I think, no, it's not a perfect and it's not a great offense, but you got your 2 running backs and you have a few nice pieces to catch the leather. I think Watson will be good. I think Jaden Reed will be okay, but that's something that you could work on. And some of these teams that are good constantly, you talk about the Giants, and you talk about the Patriots, and you talk about the Packers as schemes. Even when you went from Favre to Rodgers, the scheme was kind of the same. You had a really good defense, you had a really good run game, you had a coach you loved, and you had a nice pieces. A few nice wide receiver pieces. In the Patriots system, it went from Mac Jones, from Tom Brady. In those 20 years, even right now in this year, you have a solid defense, you have a nice running back core, you have a great head coach in Bill Belichick, and you have a few nice pieces at the wide receiver core. I say Packers are a good franchise. They have a good defense, up-and-coming offensive line, great run game, and a few nice pieces mixed in that are athletic and who can catch the ball. And I'm not saying Jordan Love is the future. Actually, I am saying that, but I'm not saying Jordan Love will just be magical the first time he'll step out on the field. It will be tough, But I think as we saw with these new QBs, they only go as far as their wide receivers take them. And as their head coach takes them. And if they have time, and if they have a good defense, they have that, right? And Jordan Love is, I think, more mobile and more athletic than people realize. He played 3 sports in high school. He runs really fast. He's a prior track and field athlete in high school and college. He's a fast kid. He also has good leadership. People rave that even in the offseason when the players didn't know if Rodgers was coming back, Love kind of stepped in as that wide or QB1 and said, hey, team, let's go. Had the leadership, right? That's what we like to see. So, no, I'm not saying it will just be perfect when he steps in, but I'm saying this guy has talent. He's a good team around him, and I think he's more confident than most year one quarterbacks coming out. Because you could make it seem like he's year 4, but he hasn't started a game yet. He's only started 3 preseason games. He's never asked questions before the media. He's never had on-field press conferences. He's never been hit in an NFL game. That's a rookie. He's been around the team as a veteran or as a 5th-year player, but playing in a real game, he's a rookie. Being the star of the team, he's a rookie. So it will be tough to take on a big franchise, and you're the first QB since Rodgers, and you're the successor of Rodgers and Brett Favre, and you're the first quarterback since 1991 to start and it not be those two. But I think what he has, with talent-wise, I think how he's a leader. I also think what he has and he's matched up with a good defense and some solid offensive pieces, I think will be solid. I don't think this will be a letdown. I think the division is weaker this year. I think the NFC isn't known for the quarterbacks. Rodgers, an elite quarterback, just went to the AFC. And I think Jordan Love will actually be pretty good in his first year. I think he could make the playoffs because I like him, I like the team, and I like what they build in Green Bay. They went Favre, they went Rodgers. They have a problem going to a new QB. And let me tell you, Jordan Love has as much potential, has as much athletic ability, and has a good arm just like Love and Rodgers. He has a good coach just like Love and Rodgers. He walked into a situation which he had protection just like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. You see some similarities? I do too. He will be okay. He will. Let's take a look at what we have in the next coming week. Tuesday, Clayton Safai, Michigan reporter. He'll break down Michigan, the number 1 recruiting class in 2024. On Wednesday, we'll bring in Brendan Sudri, Bears insider. On Thursday, we'll bring in Brandon Groom, another Michigan writer. He writes for Michigan on 3. And then we will bring in on Thursday, Detroit Lions insider, Dave Blickett, big guy on Twitter. Very nice guy, too. I think that's a wrap.
It was 5 chains on my neck.
Later.
It was no smut on my rap last time that I checked. I was selling zones in the set. Make a $250,000, no sweat last time that I checked. I'm the streets voice out west. Legendary self-made progress last time that I checked. First you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next last time that I checked. I've been self-made from the dribble. I was